Blessings and good morning or good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We're on day 3 of the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, and today I'm excited to bring on Kiko onto my channel. She has a brand new book, her first book in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, along with me and many others. And today we're going to be going into her book and her experiences through it. We're going to talk about Namado's stories. Messages behind the book. Oh, Kiko's in here. We're going to invite her in right now, and we're going to jump right. I was on hers yesterday, going into a bunch of different myths and fun topics, but this time we're going to get to pick her brain about her brand new book. Hey, Kiko. Hey, good morning, good evening. It's a early morning for you, is it not?
It's 6:30 in the evening.
Oh, in the evening. Okay, yes. My apologies. I got a little bit mixed up. Yes, because when I was live with Sachi, it was late night for me and very early for her. But now you can tell it's not really that early for me right now, but it feels early.
No worries. Oh my God, how many Insta Live did you have today?
Today, well, this is my first of the day, but I have three. Most days I have three, but some I have two and some I have four. I'm not going quite as intense as Lissa. She has up to 8 a day.
I don't know how she does it.
She is a powerful being, so amazing. We're so blessed to, that she's a part of the bundle, that she's a main creator in the bundle, of course, and pumping out all this amazing info for everyone.
Yeah, I'm grateful that you have accepted my invitation to do it both ways. We have each hosted, and this time you're hosting me. Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure. Absolutely. I'm so excited to go into your book and into your story, of course, and that you're a part of the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle with your first book.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah, and just a reminder to everyone, you can grab the bundle right now in both of our links in bio. If you're not following Kiko, I recommend you do at the end of this or whenever you're, gonna come back later. You can click into her link in bio and grab the bundle. It's an amazing resource. We have 32 resources right now. We're $1,390 plus dollars for only $50, but it's only available until the 11th at midnight. So you're gonna want to check that out. So I think we might as well start right from the beginning. What inspired you to write the book? And of course, the title of the book. What exactly does it mean?
Yeah, thank you. What inspired me? I've been inspired ever since I was on 100% raw vegan, but that was in
Yeah.
2004. Yeah, I said, wow, why did I not know about it? Why is it not mainstream? Because I just felt
Yeah.
amazing. It was so simple. And I said, these words has to be out, and I have to share my stories because I have been searching for this kind of true
Yeah.
story that makes sense, that's sustainable, that's great for not just for you, but for everyone around and Earth and all that. So yeah, I've been wanting to do this, and that um, 20 years passed by.
Yeah. It goes by fast sometimes, right?
I tried so many times, and so many people, asked me to write the book, and they encouraged me, and I tried and I tried, and I just couldn't bring myself to finishing. And uh, Sachi has invited me for to be part of it.
Mhm.
And he said, this year's bundle is actually, the deadline is
Yeah.
earlier. I just freaked out. I said, no, 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 it's not possible. But I said, I've been postponing this, do work for
Yes.
such a time. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it even if I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
I have to let it, finish it. And I just kept on pushing, and uh, thankfully, like the whole download just came,
Yeah.
and I really, I don't know how to thank you guys, you and Lisa, for putting together, because I don't know if it was just for me. I don't know when I would have finished it. and you have been encouraging me, and they said, oh, it's a bit tight schedule, but I think there's time to finish. So that assured me really, and the whole community is so so lovely. They're so supportive, and I'm really honored to be part of this group. So yeah, that's how I was able to finish, thanks to you guys. And but for the my book's title, Namado. So Nama in Japanese means raw,
Yeah.
and Do means way
Yeah.
in Japanese.
I love it.
And yeah,
It's
and
so fun.
yeah, this is actually a cliche, and I think probably most Japanese people, or like people who understands this kanji character, they would probably hate it because it's an authentic
Yeah.
name that we have many do, like we have kyudo, shodo, sado, like tea ceremony, flower arrangement, like all of that is a practice, so all of this do in Japan, it's usually we have a school or like a master, like a grandmaster, and then you have to follow those, master from, it's very strict and very
Traditional,
conservative,
kind of traditional succession kind of thing.
right, and very conservative.
Yeah.
But I love the name because, well, first of all, it's very short and easy to
Yeah.
remember, and because my journey, it wasn't a destination. When I first tried it for, I think, 100% raw vegan for 30 days, I was just amazed, and I thought that I found the solution. I found the
Yeah.
answer. And but it wasn't it. I had to tweak so many times, and over 20 years it's been a very interesting journey.
Yeah.
So just like any other do in Japanese, it's not the destination, but it's rather a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, it puts a lot of power behind it too. And, if people get a little bit irked about it, well, then it'll make them think about it more. And, the power behind the word, it sounds like it's very fitting. And, I mean, I believe that raw is the way, it's a beautiful thing. I just think it's an awesome title. So I'm really happy you shared that. And I know we went into this a little bit in the live I was on your channel, but for people that maybe haven't watched that, what was a major aha moment that really sparked you onto Raw and it was kind of the beginning of this journey?
Mm, So in 2004, so it's from 2001 to 2004, I was going through a struggle with my health,
Hmm.
and I look for different ways to cure and release this disease that I was going through.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't want to go through surgeries after surgeries and, medicated or, the whole entire life.
Yeah.
Some people seem to be okay with it. Like, like for example, right now, this is the allergy season here in Japan.
Yeah.
And every year it gets worse and worse, and everyone seems to be taking this strong allergy medicine,
Yeah.
and it's so annoying. Even if they take medicine, this allergy medicine, they still have the symptoms,
Yeah.
and it's so annoying. Like your nose is running, and eyes itchy, and it's to me it's very simple. It's just, oh, simple as in like you change your diet, and
Yeah.
it just ease it just gets easier and easier. So yeah, it just, to me, it just made sense.
Yeah.
uh it was logic to me.
Hmm.
For me, I am an emotional person, but at the same time I like things logical
Yeah.
for long term.
Yeah.
And I find raw vegan to be very, very logic and legit. So
Absolutely.
I don't know if maybe I'm not explaining it in a very, I don't know, uh, I don't know if it's a
No,
satisfactory answer.
oh no, it's great. I totally understand. I mean, it is amazing when you learn this information, it can just hit you as truth and not just mentally, like logically, it totally makes sense. But when you start to apply it on a body level, it just like your whole being just is like, yes, this makes sense. And you look out to nature and, you look at the science and it just stacks upon itself and it just makes sense, just like you said.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think that's why my friends around me, even though they're not raw vegan at all, they're always so inspired. And everyone around me, they just start making smoothies in the morning, and they start consuming less animal products, and they always say that you should do something about your raw vegan journey, and I have been hiding it. And yeah.
Well, here you are on the light, and we're so blessed by you coming out and shining forth. It's definitely an honor for all of us. So really thankful for that. And you've been through a lot, and like you said, in your early times, you were really going through really challenging times. Can you share a little bit more about that, what you're comfortable with? Because those stories of transformation are just so powerful for other people that might be in a similar spot. And I mean, I understand, you say that it's frustrating when other people don't get it, and sharing your story can really help that. So,
Yeah,
can you go a
sure.
little bit more?
Of course. I will leave very personal, a bit of a shocking story to my book,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if it's allowed to talk. But anyway, the eczema I have been dealing since I was child, and it's got worse. Usually, eczema kind of disappears when we grow up. Like usually kids have it, and it's one of the major issues, disease we have here in Japan. I don't know, like many kids have it,
Mm.
many adults have it, more than any other countries that I've seen.
Wow.
And yeah, and for me, it was it just got worse when I became adult, and also um, after World Trade Center.
Yeah.
uh, when it was hit, I just started working in New York City as a consultant,
Yeah.
and yeah, I had a 6 months project, and I just, um, you know, I just held a lot of debris.
Yeah. Lots going on.
Yes, yes. So after that, just my health went down the hill.
Mhm.
And yeah, that eczema was just getting worse and worse. It was very frustrating. I feel like I've gone through a major like excruciating pain quite a few times in my
Mhm.
life, but I feel like itchiness is the worst.
I can relate to some degree because I mean, this is different, but skin issues, I've been very sensitive to the sun and I've sunburnt myself really bad. One time bad enough that I couldn't leave the house or put on clothing or even put a sheet on my body for over 2 weeks. And it took like a month and a half to heal. And I was itch, my whole body was itchy for so long. And it's so irritating because you want to scratch so bad, but if you do, you make it worse. And it's like I start slapping myself, and or tattoos healing. That's not as bad, but the sunburn, and I can't imagine with the eczema too. That's skin itch is ooh.
Oh my God. So were you in a beach, on a beach?
Without going too deep into it, it was, yeah, I was basically like a snail. I hadn't had any sun, and me and my friend drove from Oklahoma to Miami overnight. And this time this was before raw food. We were drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, and we end up in Miami at 7 a.m., super dehydrated. And we decided to go on the beach and get drunk. And all of a sudden it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd been on the beach in the Miami sun for like, you know, 7 or 9 hours, like long, long time, just burnt so bad. I didn't go to the hospital or anything. I just laid in my friend's apartment and couldn't move basically for 2 weeks. And then after about a month, I started going outside again. It was brutal.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, oh, okay. Anyway, you
A
understand how horrible
little
it
bit,
is.
little bit different, different.
Yeah. And so yeah, eczema. I had this severe case of eczema, which wasn't just going, and I was keeping track of what I was eating,
Mhm.
but it was just I was quite social, and in New York lifestyle, being a consultant, we were invited to go out and eat,
Yeah.
and it was just, even though I was ordering something healthier, mostly vegetarian meals, it was just causing some, it was so random.
Yeah.
I would get itchy and I don't know what caused it.
Mhm.
So that, and also ovarian
Mhm.
cyst. Actually, they have lots of like cysts all over my
Yeah.
body at that time.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's just kind of strange. There must be something that I can do to, take charge. And at that time in early 2000s, doctors would never, they would never associate what we eat
Yeah.
relates to what we are going through. Yeah,
It's amazing to think, right, how much denials there, and without much nutritional training and what they're taught, they share what they're taught, right? But it is amazing the disconnect that people have between what we put in our body and what happens with our body, hey?
yeah, exactly. So that was that. And, I've done like different modality to like sustainable things. Like,
Hmm.
mm, what did I do? Like I did Chinese herbs. I did like some acupuncture
Hmm.
or, whatever people suggested
Yeah.
that I felt like I don't have to put myself go through surgery or, um, yeah, take medication for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I was using a cream like strong cream for eczema.
Steroid type of cream,
Yeah,
topical steroid.
exactly. Right. Since I was kids, I was using steroids, and
And not for
at
muscle
some
though. So,
steroids.
sorry.
Yeah, so it felt the steroids at some point it just stopped working,
Yeah.
and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating not to be able to be in charge of your body,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and
Always
that's why,
treating symptoms instead of really dealing with the root cause.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I thought that this raw vegan journey was just raw vegan diets just makes sense, and it was almost an immediate release of it. So ovarian cyst wasn't something I wasn't feeling it all the time. I didn't have much pain.
Mhm.
But eczema was like every minute, every second I was in reminder, because I was itchy all the time for some, long period of time.
Yeah.
And when I ate raw vegan food for like, I remember for the second or third day, it was, um, I felt a huge shift
Yeah.
already. And I said, wow, that's amazing. Like, it doesn't cost much. It's so simple.
Mm.
I don't have to rely on doctors or, I feel like I can finally be in charge of myself,
Oh,
body, right?
that must have been a powerful, powerful moment. Do you remember like waking up one day and just not feeling any itch and just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
It took me some time for me to feel no itchiness at all,
Yeah.
but when you go through this raw vegan journey, that in the beginning especially, it's not just the physical
Yeah.
enlightenment, but it's mind enlightenment at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we feel like many people, many raw vegans would say that I've never felt so good in my whole entire life,
Yeah.
right? Even the ones who start raw vegan journey at their 60s
Mhm.
or 70s.
Yeah.
And how is it so that, how is it? It's not just physical
No.
uh, health, it's mental health as well.
Mm,
and my mental health. I wrote it in my book as well,
mhm,
that this I so getting back to sort of my roots, I'm Japanese,
mhm,
and we have a lot of Chinese traditions. So something like 12 zodiac signs.
mhm.
So every year we have this 12 animal zodiac sign, and this year is snake.
Yeah.
I was born in tiger, the year
Okay.
of
Yeah.
tiger. My I was a bit of a wild kid,
Mhm.
and my parents used to say that, oh, I wish Kiko was a boy. She would have made a perfect boy. She's so
Mm.
active and she's so outgoing. It's like, it's not a good character for a girl in Japan.
Oh, it's strong. Tigers are the best.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So they used to comment that, oh yeah, because Kiko was born in year of tiger, she's cursed.
Oh, well, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. But can you
Yeah.
guess? Can you guess what year I'm from?
Monkey?
There we go. Yeah.
How did I guess it?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just great at charades, I think.
I don't know.
So I'm curious, during your transition, because I mean, like you said, there's so many aspects to it. It doesn't just touch your physical. Was there anything surprising or maybe funny that you experienced in your transition that was a big shift?
In the beginning of my journey,
Yeah, yeah. In the beginning, or when you really transitioned in and started noticing a bunch of changes, was there anything kind of extra surprising you didn't expect, or maybe fun that wasn't funny then, but now looking back was kind of funny?
well, we go through sort of like a detox. I have to be careful with this word,
Yeah.
but um, I definitely felt some detox, and the major detox I went through was
Yeah,
emotional detox,
yeah,
and that was crazy.
yeah.
Like some old me would just kind of come back to me, and yeah, it was just like nasty character of me would just kind of come back to me when I was doing fasting,
Mhm.
or maybe it was just a light raw vegan meals. But yeah, it was very, very intense. And when I went, luckily, I had a good friend who was doing this raw vegan journey for already 3 years at the time.
Yeah.
So he mentioned to me, it's not just the physical detox, but it's the emotional detox as well.
Yeah, huge, especially during fasting and stuff like that. And especially if we have a history of some pharmaceuticals and
Mm.
really challenging emotional times. I firmly believe that, we store stuff in onion layers in our fat tissue. And when we're releasing that, not only the physical toxema comes back, but the emotions and the feelings and the sorrows and the challenges come back to be faced. Is that kind of what you experienced?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I also felt so when I was kids, we Japanese eat a lot of seafood,
Hmm.
and I remember when I was a kid, we used to have this like abalone and like king oyster.
Hmm.
And I know there is a particular seafood that I haven't eaten since when I was child.
Yeah.
During that detox,
Mm.
I I had a very strong taste of
Yeah.
that. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
it was like maybe I ate it like when I was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Yeah.
And I know that kind of seafood that we don't get easily, and it was just crazy. Like what is going on? It's just coming back to my memory, and I can taste it in my mouth.
It's so crazy. I've had a similar experience in one of my longer fasts where I had a really hard day. Like I was just so angry and frustrated, and all I could remember was this ice cream cake and different emotions I was feeling when I was in grade 11 and I was sick for 2 weeks and I was just eating crap food because I was so depressed and so frustrated. It was over Christmas holidays. And that's only kind of strengthened my thought of those onion layers that, we're going back into those times that we weren't prepared to deal with physically, mentally, emotionally, and
Mhm.
now they're coming back up.
Yeah, very interesting. I love it though. Like, a lot of people say this is not only we are eating raw, but
Mm.
we are dealing with this raw emotion that's just,
Yeah. It is so powerful. We have a guest here to say hello. I don't think you've met Snooter yet.
oh my God. I have seen in your YouTube and
Oh, yes. She's
um,
my little tiger.
yes.
It's
I,
it is amazing because it's like you said, it's not just, physical, it's mental, emotional, all this stuff comes up and we can be so much lighter, going through that. And people even say that with raw food that is an opportunity to heal our lineage, heal our past and whatever way we believe that, that can't just be from what we've learned from repetition from them passed on to us. They say the demons of our forefathers lay upon us. Do you feel
mm,
that that is similar for you, that it has been kind of a transformative thing that can help heal you, your family lineage, to bring something new forward from here?
you mean that I had to go through that sort of uh, difficult time to completely start new or
Yeah, basically, like not only to heal some of your stuff, but to
mm,
kind of almost like a rebirth,
yeah.
like letting go of the past self and things that we've even learned through our family and all these other things.
Hmm. Yeah, I think of course it was a journey
Yeah,
and it didn't go right away.
yeah,
And I'm sure I'm still carrying some of the family history
yeah, yeah,
and that some of the trauma.
yeah,
But it definitely helped to sort of face it uh, so strongly and just being able to say, okay, uh, I'm not hiding it. I'm not
mm,
eating. I'm not doing emotional cooked food eating to cover all of that. And I feel like it's much easier to face um, the challenges raw, like as it is.
yeah,
Uh, it's just faster and easier because when you face it, then you see what it is,
yeah,
then you know how to handle it.
yeah,
And people tend to procrastinate and they just don't want to see it, but it's a big elephant in the room, right?
yeah.
That lingering. And for me, I prefer to just see it,
Mhm.
and it's not a big deal. It's just an elephant. Okay, well, let's not go close to it.
Yeah. Yeah, getting real and raw with yourself, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know in your book you talked about a miraculous result. Is there something you want to share a little bit about that?
You know, I there's so many things. I've been feeling so great, and I know it's not. I have to say that I haven't been feeling fantastic all the time for 20 years. There are definitely some learning curves. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was writing a book, I just forgot how I used to feel before.
Yeah.
Meaning, like when I wake up in the morning, everyone has like how do you call it? Like
Oh, the Sandman, the little stuff in the eyes. Yeah.
yeah, like mucus coming out, and like I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have to wash my face.
Yeah.
I don't even feel before when I was eating before I shifted to this diet. My mouth when I woke up it was just disgusting. I couldn't, I had to rinse my mouth right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so many tiny things that I forget that it's a norm for people.
Yeah.
Uh, But I think the physical health is amazing. I have so many things going on in my life, and people around me always say like, how many Kiko do you have? It's like it's not possible to do so many things at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's thanks to this diet that I'm keeping on. And yeah, so did I answer your question? What's the most interesting thing? Let me think
Maybe
if I
one of
can.
the more powerful, I mean, you've already talked about a bunch of powerful transformations, but I always find that this lifestyle, like there are some big things that you're looking to correct, and sometimes those come and sometimes they take longer, but oftentimes there's little things like over the years that all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this changed, whoa, that changed, like, and you didn't even notice it at first, but then it's like, wow, I can't believe that. Is there any examples that were kind of unexpected that that you noticed come up later?
I think mine. So going back to how I was born in the year of tiger.
Mhm.
Dealing myself was the toughest thing in my life
Yeah.
because I, my emotion was just going crazy. It was just so wild that even myself, I get tired of myself.
Mhm.
I was driving myself crazy,
Yeah.
and I had so much addiction,
Yeah.
uh, mostly emotional addiction that it was just so tiring. And I remember making myself tired all the time, and I said, you know what, this is like, I cannot continue. I really felt like there's a wild tiger inside of me that I didn't know how to tame.
Mhm.
And when I shifted my lifestyle, it just made it so much easier. My I was so much calmer.
Mhm.
I I could now finally do meditation.
Mhm.
Before I could not sit still, right? And I had quite a few suicidal thoughts
Mhm.
before, and that's just non-existence.
Mhm.
So that's huge. We
Super huge.
uh,
Yeah,
the
I can relate.
the mental health is. I mean, how many people commit suicide in the world, and every minute there's a crazy amount.
Yeah.
uh, and I do feel like our brain is connected to our internal organs, right? Like
Sure.
intestine.
For sure.
And I feel like so many lives can be saved by how we eat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a powerful form of love in action, right? I felt in my own life that through giving myself loving action, you start to just actually have more love for yourself and are
Mm,
much less likely to want to damage and hurt yourself. It's such a
mm.
beautiful thing. Um, you talked about Japanese culture and growing up in that. Has this changed your view on Japanese culture or shifted any of that aspect of your life?
My raw vegan lifestyle, has it changed how I see my
Yeah,
culture?
yeah. Has it created any shifts or different points of view on culture or tradition or anything like that?
I'm not sure. It's because of how I was raised, right? And also not only my parents. I was definitely a black sheep, or I don't know if this is a politically correct term nowadays.
Mhm. Yeah, I sometimes even when I say black and white, it's like, oh, I want a better one. I want a better one. But it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what people think, right? But yeah,
Right. So I was definitely not, I wasn't comfortable in Japan because there are certain expectation being a
yeah.
woman. And that's why I run away to the States, and I spent, I think I spent, yeah, maybe more than half of my life abroad.
Mhm.
And yeah, I felt so great that I didn't have to fit into that, box.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been back in Japan now for 4 years,
Mhm.
and I just love it. I mean, you know, I feel like this is the most beautiful country, and it's very rare to find a country like this where people are so kind. Everywhere you go, it's so clean. People are so respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after COVID, a lot has changed in the world,
Hmm.
and Japan is one of the gem. It works well for me in this time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I'm here with my husband, so that also helps as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think um, you know, especially being raw vegan, we all stands out. We're all weirdos everywhere we go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you and we're in Japanese, we have a saying that Japanese we like to be all same, all the same level.
Yeah.
So they don't like someone being so, outstanding.
Yeah.
For all education, all behavior. And when you are a little bit, above,
Different.
depending on, yeah, different, yeah,
Yeah.
just slightly different from others, then so there you're just slightly different, and then then people start like uh
Just pushing you down or saying you shouldn't be different.
yeah, exactly, they'll just push you down and they just stamp on you.
Yeah.
But if you go all the way up and you're completely different, like people don't see, or people see it, but I mean they wouldn't bother you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
I
because
don't
you're
know.
you're so different that it's like, oh, okay. But if you're just a little bit, then it's like, come on, be like everyone else. Come on, why are you special?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I tried to fit in,
Mhm.
and even though I tried so hard to fit in,
Mhm.
it didn't work. I said, you know what? Heck it. Let me just be
Yeah.
myself. And that works really well.
Oh yeah. That's got to be so freeing.
Yeah, I love my life here in Japan. It's such a I live in Kyoto. It's such a beautiful place to
Yeah.
be. I'm so happy to be connected to local people as well through my raw vegan cafe.
Yeah. 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 Can you share a little bit more about that as well, please?
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, so there's a community cafe in downtown Kyoto, and they wanted to use this beautiful space.
Mhm.
And I have volunteered that, okay, I can do, just once a week
Yeah.
cafe. And a lot of people actually ask me because I love cooking. I mean, not cooking, but prepping
Yeah.
raw vegan meals.
Yeah.
And they always say, "Oh my God, your food's so good. You should have you should start your cafe."
Mhm.
And I thought that's a lot of work, and I cannot see myself doing that for a stranger.
Yeah.
But opportunities just arrived, and I thought that I could help this community, which just turned out to be sort of win-win situation.
Mhm.
It's definitely not for money.
Mhm.
It um, Raw vegan cafes. It's a lot of work, and I also want to give a lot.
Yeah.
I want to make people go, "Wow, this is beautiful and this is delicious," and so I like to decorate and make it a bit complicated,
Yeah.
but still low fat, raw vegan, whole food.
Mhm.
Yeah, things that I eat on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's beautiful. I Most people who come to my cafe, they don't know what this is.
Yeah.
They're confused, but they like the taste. Like, what is this? And oh, what's this texture?
That's so
And
cool.
they're so surprised that it hasn't been cooked, or there's no refined oil or refined sugar. So they're all pleased to eat, and they're like, oh, if I could eat this way, it would be amazing, right?
Absolutely. Do you find you get repeat customers that ask more and more questions often, and sometimes just random new people come and go? But yeah, it sounds like you're getting that.
Yeah, I have few regular people coming, and yeah, they have tons of questions. Yeah, but just slowly, I yes, I just don't advertise much because I can't mass produce
Yeah,
what I prepare.
yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely getting to know people and share my knowledge.
Course, absolutely. I mean, it seems that it's a very common thing with raw foodists that, they find ways to spread this from the heart, and oftentimes it's not really money oriented, but it's for just sharing this information. Why do you think that is?
Why do I think what like this is,
So many people, like when they get into this, they just they want to share it, and it's like you could be seen as making it as profession, but sometimes it's just like you just want to give, give, give. If it wasn't raw food, then I think people be a little less hesitant to put as much time and energy to give away stuff for free and to just put time and energy into helping others.
ah
Why do you think
okay.
that is?
So you think that raw vegans are very
I
generous and
think in general, yeah, for sure. I think I've seen so many people that, myself included at times, not to try and pat myself in any way, but that you give a lot and you create a lot, and money isn't the first priority. And it may be self-evident to us why that is, but why do you feel that is?
but this goes back to our mind health. When we feel so good ourselves that we have a space to help others,
Yeah.
and it's such an important information. Like I don't want to, I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. I don't want to, preach
No.
what I'm doing is right, but I want to inspire people, and I know that this is um this is it. I know
Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah.
Um and but I know depending on how I approach, they might have this allergic reaction.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, I think the difference is though, like I was very generous and giving before. I mean, I was my friends and people around me, they knew me as someone who is there to always
Yeah.
help. But the huge difference after being raw vegan is that I'm less attached. And definitely this is a continuing, it's not one time I reach this compassion or detachment of what I do,
Hmm.
uh, but it's easier and easier. I just do it because I feel good. I
Yeah.
just do it because I know uh, this is it.
Yeah. It's
Not
the dough. It's
me.
the way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's the way.
Yeah.
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 How,
That's beautiful.
yeah, I'm
So
sorry. I'm curious. What do you think? Why do you think that is?
I think very much along the same way that it's just so profound within the individual's life that it can't be denied. And a friend of mine, he has an amazing song, MC Matre. But in the song, there's one lyric that just says, "Feeling this good was not meant to be done alone." So people just want to
Mhm.
help others feel this good and lighten up life and lighten the load that they're carrying physically, mentally, emotionally. And it's just a joy to be able to see that in other people. And I mean, of course, everyone desires community and more like-minded individuals, right? So it just helps
Mhm.
grow the community through helping each individual to lighten their own self.
Mhm. Yeah, I still have this hesitancy of, speaking of my way of life
Hmm.
because I know that many people could get offended or they might feel like I'm judging.
Yeah.
Um, but so there's this raw vegan cafe. It works really well for me. It's sort of like a gentle reminder. They
Yeah.
always say, "Oh my God, I feel so amazing when I come to your cafe. Like I ate so much. It was so satisfying, but I felt amazing and light and They were so amazed that with just veggies and some nuts and seeds and fruits, they're satisfied, and it's like, oh, I can skip my dinner today, and I feel so good, and I know that this is something I'm doing something good to the world, not just for the community.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It reverberates out and it's amazing. Every individual that we touch, you never know the seeds planted and, where they may go and grow.
Hmm.
On,
Yes.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, definitely. Yeah, please.
On community, have you seen, over the years, the raw food community start to grow in Japan and, any other fun events or anything like that that you see planned or you want to be a part of or anything like that? I've always dreamt of a festival in Japan, a raw food festival, because I really, really want to go to Japan. And I was just thought, like, if there's a festival out there, oh my gosh, that'd be one of the best excuses ever?
Oh my God, you're really, really, really coming to Japan for sure.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely will.
yeah, I wrote it in my book that there was like they don't like raw food sort of became a trend in 2008 in Japan, and it kind of died down. But a lot of like TV show, and there was a very famous book came out on banana
Oh
diet.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Banana diet, Mr. Banana.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was a trend. But I mean, that worked because it was very simple. Bananas everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, and that was a diet book.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
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 But hmm, the community, I am creating one in Kyoto.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, of course, with your cafe itself. And how far is Sachi away from you?
She is quite far.
Okay.
She needs to take a
Oh, wow.
airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. She's a bit far. So yeah, but anyway, um, I'm doing this, weekly cafe, but not only that,
Mhm.
this community center, they have this weekly newspaper, like weekly, I don't know how they call it, newsletter to their members,
Yeah.
and they always ask me about, like describe about what raw vegan is.
Hmm.
So no, actually, this is every month. So they give me a section to write about raw vegan.
Hmm. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for a few times already. So that's amazing. That I'm able to explain, not just people come and eat, but I'm able to explain what it is.
Hmm.
So that's why I need to translate my book into Japanese. A lot of people asking like, "Oh, this is not in Japanese yet."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work on that at some point.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Nothing but opportunity ahead, right? It's just getting out of that procrastination and, hopefully me poking you more and also the bundle is even more of a fire to get all of that done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but the raw vegan, there was one event that was supposed to happen that in Okinawa, the
Mhm.
South Island in Japan, but that I heard that fell apart. But Japan could be amazing. I think like fruits are pretty good here. Like kaki seasons are amazing. Apples are amazing.
Yes. Mhm.
Hmm. And prices are not definitely after COVID. The price in Japan are much affordable.
Oh,
A lot
good.
of oh yeah, it's amazing because Japan within the past 30 years our salary hasn't changed. Um, so
Hmm.
they're now slowly raising our salary, but that's one of the reasons they can't raise too much for prices here in Japan.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, people got to eat, right? So they
Mm,
got to make it affordable enough to eat. So I want to go a little bit back into your book. I know in chapter 11 you give some tips, and is there any practical tips, for somebody maybe kind of new to this, and besides the bundle, of course, a little shameless plug of the bundle. Of course, the bundle is a great tip to get a whole bunch of information and recipes. But do you have any like practical lessons or tips for somebody maybe new to this lifestyle to make it easier on them than both you and I probably had it without the experience shared?
mm. Um, Sorry, can you ask me the question again? Is
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So, do you have, I know like in chapter 11 in your book, you go into some lessons and
Yeah.
tips that you've learned. And is there any simple tip or lesson you think could help somebody who's kind of, struggling with this lifestyle or new to this or, having emotional challenge to apply it?
I know.
Mm.
Buy the bundle.
Buy the bundle and grab it in Kiko's link and yeah, check that out.
Okay. I think it's so hard to say because everything matters.
Yeah,
I was gonna say community is so important,
yeah.
but then if you don't have a discipline to on your own, that having the community, it just makes it easier if you're friends, if you're connected to this community and you have friends, close friends in that community.
Mhm,
Um, but everything matters. So like discipline,
mhm.
um, and yeah, organizing yourself to prep better.
Yeah.
Um, be confident to say no to whatever junk food people might want to give you.
Mhm.
That's in Japan. It's quite a lot of people have a hard time saying
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, the watermelon online, she messaged that yeah, in Germany it's quite expensive. I see that everywhere. It's got so expensive after COVID, and yeah,
Yeah.
get the sure. Um, yeah. So there's no one answer.
Mhm.
Um, it's everything counts. Like no, raw vegan, the food itself is just a tiny portion of our, why we feel so great. Uh,
Yeah.
but when you start raw vegan diet, though, maybe it might be a 10% of our, our health. But that just one push,
Mhm.
it just it's just very easy to move from that one push,
Mhm. Change, change,
right? So
change brings more change. Hey, you start to get comfortable with making changes, or
right,
at
yeah,
least at least more comfortable or more willing to be uncomfortable making changes.
right. So that's why, like your myth book,
Yeah.
is your book for the brand new book for this ultimate raw vegan bundle is excellent because you know I think in early days, we were told that no, just eat raw vegan, just eat fruits and vegetable, and that's it. You don't need to exercise. You
Yeah.
can only, you can even skip because you feel amazing. 1 hour, 2 hours, it's okay.
Yeah.
It, Now we know that it's not true. We all have to get good night's sleep, not just for a few hours. But I'm curious, what's your take on that? What would be your answer?
For a practical tip, I think you made some really, really good ones. I I think a big one is just really recognizing that it's okay to be uncomfortable and to move through things that challenge you. And in fact, that's really how we grow. Because, like you said, the food is one aspect, and you could imagine that just like eating all the food and then it's magic, everything's perfect, but that's really not the case. More so, it actually does, like you've experienced, bring everything up, right? So it's like it's being prepared for that and knowing that there are going to be some mental, emotional, social challenges ahead, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's through facing those on, facing the real raw truths, like you kind of said with your own experience, that we grow and it gets lighter and it gets easier. And like you said too,
Mhm.
the community and having support and talking with people, even if you don't have them around you, right? It's like we're so blessed by being able to be online and connecting in groups and talk to people who've gone through this to share the challenges and to have a shoulder to lean on occasionally, if we need to do that because it is no small thing. It is amazing and it can be easy at times and it can feel like the best, most easy, lightest choice in the world, but other times it can feel challenging and hard. So to expect that,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
that's a big one.
And yeah, thanks for showing up all the time. You have been consistent on sharing, and your Instagram. You do it every day on like short one with the calendar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, I love your sense of humor, and you're always there. And I remember one of your YouTube, I think, you shared that you went to a restaurant with your parents
Hmm.
and just brought organics, big box of salad and
Yeah.
avocado.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this is fantastic. We are such a social animal, like we are human being. We cannot be alone.
Yeah.
That um, you sharing that being in a restaurant where everyone is eating whatever in the restaurant and you just bring the huge box of organic salad and you're just eating like this and I said, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I felt like I got permission from you.
Aw. What an
Yeah.
honor. What an honor for sure. I mean, I like to try and make it just more fun and play and experiment and know that it is okay to do whatever it takes to nourish yourself and feel the best. And when it is challenging and when it is awkward around people, just to be vulnerable and share that. Like this is a little awkward. I feel funny doing this in the restaurant, but this is what feels good to me. Can you be okay? And
Yeah.
people accept.
Yeah.
People want to support you if you ask for help.
True. Have you always been so nice, Chris?
When the camera's off, I'm one mean banana commander.
I got that image. You use that in your YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
Ha-
Speaking about myths, was there a big myth in raw food that you came up against that you found you let go that helped you over your journey? Is there a big myth? And it doesn't have to be anything related to any of the myths I said, but something that maybe you thought or was taught and believed that you've since let go of.
Yeah, it goes back to my book title, that this is a
Yeah.
journey. And it is true that we feel amazing. And I
Hmm.
think everyone should try because the feeling, like once you feel it, like truly how we feel on raw vegan, it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
And even if you go back to how you were eating, you still remember. It's like, oh my God, that felt amazing, and how can I go back to that state?
Yeah.
But I think in early or like mid early 2000 or mid 2000, that was just this high raw vegan concept wasn't existing, right?
Yeah.
I wrote it in as well in detail that when you become 100 fully raw
Yeah.
and you go back eating cooked food, then you are a failure.
Mhm.
So it's either 100% or
Yeah.
failure.
Success or failure. Yeah, that's a powerful mind worm that can just make or break your. It can actually really break your emotional self if you have a slip up.
Yeah. In New York, living in New York City, I kept hearing some, well-known raw vegans who claim to be 100%.
Hmm.
They were caught in a pizzeria eating, huge New York pizza with the cheese. And
Hmm.
yeah, but I feel like the community now is much more generous and understanding.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
better to you know go out of the way and being able to come back. That there is a space to come back to that root.
Yeah.
Well, like when we have this success or failure attitude, it's hard to kind of come back, and
Yeah.
it is hard to just be alone in this journey.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It's amazing too because it's really through those contrasts, like really feeling how amazing it feels and then feeling how crap life can feel, that it brings more onus. Like it makes us really want to stay more consistent, and and it is also just so true. I think that it's hard enough as it is to have to or to add guilt and shame on top of it. It's like it's just making it harder for ourselves, right?
Yeah, that's true. And look, Watermelon Online, she said, the friendly Canadians, and I totally agree. The all what is up with Canadians? I mean, you guys are all so nice.
We're
And
just terrified inside. We're just so scared inside. So we just say sorry nonstop, and we're really nice because we don't want to get, beat up or picked on. We're
like just like Japanese, I work as a tour guide in Japan, in Kyoto.
Mhm.
And yeah, whenever I get Canadians, like I just know they're just so nice, and they're least demanding and the most pleasant people. And there's some they said that we have a lot in common, Japanese and Canadians. Like we apologize a lot.
Yep, yep. No, I see it. I absolutely see it too. Maybe it's what draws me to Japan more or something else, who knows? But yeah, it's so to your book though, I am curious because it's not just about your story. There is also some recipes in there. What is your favorite recipe from the book?
Uh, Cheerberry Parfait.
Oh, can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so I realized that omega-3 intake is super, super important. And I used to take it with flaxseed cracker, but
Yeah,
that really dried me up. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's painful, but and then chia seeds worked really well.
Mhm.
So chia berry parfait is of course no sugar, but it's quite sweet thanks to dates,
Yeah.
lots of chia seeds,
Yeah.
and I nailed it with the portion because I've been making it for such a long period of time, but um, like how much water I add and how much cacao powder or carob powder or water I add, it's completely different result.
Mhm.
So I nailed it. I'm so happy that I was able to share it on my
Yeah.
book. And it's one of the popular dish at my cafe.
Oh, awesome. I'll have to check it out. I need to actually get some more chia seeds. It's one of my favorite seeds as well, and so I'm gonna get some and I'll try that one out.
Yes, definitely. Please let me know when you do try it. It's super it's funny because my husband and I we eat it. We've been eating it every single day,
Mhm.
and we we just don't get bored of it. It's just perfect like harmony.
Yeah,
And
I
it
find that's a. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, and it travels well. I use the frozen
Hmm.
berries. So when I like tomorrow, I'm out all day.
Hmm.
And the Lisa hand wrap
Mm,
is the famous one,
so good.
and also yeah, and then also that cheer berry parfait. It's definitely I always take those two when I'm out all day.
Mhm.
I eat it every day, but yeah.
Is it usually your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or how does it fit into your everyday?
Uh, Usually, before lunch, or when I feel hungry, I might have it again.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So I can't believe that we've already been talking for an hour. It feels about like 20 minutes. It's kind of crazy to me. But maybe wrapping this up a little bit, and then I'll ask if you have any other fun things you want to share. But looking back over your journey and all the things you've learned, is there anything that you would wish you could tell your younger self when you first got into this?
Hmm, good question. Yeah, Hmm.
Eat more cherry berry parfaits.
Yeah. Um, I think it might change the time that you ask me, but now I feel like it's perfect as it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can understand that.
No,
We
no
we
advice.
learn from what we learn, right? We learn and grow. It's like if you change something in the past, who knows who would be right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, how about we switch it up then to somebody new? And I know we said the bundle already, but I'm gonna put you on the poker just a little bit.
I mean, if I was just starting raw vegan, I mean the ultimate raw vegan bundle. I'm sorry, I kept I feel like a broken record, but and I don't like you know pushing. I mean I don't want for other people to think that we are pushing because we are in it,
Yeah,
but it's so important that there's so much information
yeah,
and there's a way to connect because there are people from all over the world who participated for this bundle.
yeah,
Maybe you know the author is your neighbor. Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah,
And there, I'm sure we're definitely not majority yet,
yeah.
even though you have been there for such a long period of time. So this community is so important. So get the bundle,
Mm.
and find your community.
Mm. Awesome. No, I couldn't agree more. I can't imagine what I would have thought if, back then when I first started, I got the opportunity to check out something like this with not only a lot of resources that have recipes and information and tools and support, but it's also like a unified voice. Because even within the raw food movement, there is a lot of kind of, different viewpoints. But we really tried to make this come together with a unified voice of, some variants, of course. It's not just like one cookie cutter, but at the same time, it does share a streamlined, low-fat, raw food approach that doesn't have oils and stuff like that, and is really community and growth and development based. And so I feel so blessed to be a part. I feel so blessed that you're a part of it with us this year, and that that fire woke you up and got you to get your first book done and in the bundle as well. And just great to connect with you and to see all you're doing out there. And this is a joy and pleasure.
Yeah, this ultimate raw vegan bundle is the connection point, and I really hope that as many people can realize it and get it as soon as possible. Because it just goes away very the time just flies,
Yeah.
and after 11th, if you're interested, you can buy it individually, but it would be completely a different story. It's like there's so many options. Like it's like a library. It's just $50. It's
Yeah.
like a almost like a free library. You can just pick,
Mm.
and there are two people who bought this bundle from my cafe,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot wait to try some of the recipes. Right, like
Mm-hmm.
I can now that they bought this bundle, then we can share the recipe and prepare in a cafe together even,
Mm-hmm.
and share like, oh, I made this and that was great, and yeah, that ripple effect is amazing, and I do feel that the ultimate raw vegan bundle is the connecting point of all the dots.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Is there anything you want to leave us with, or anywhere else people can find you uh, on your Instagram or anywhere else planned or anything like that?
Yeah, Instagram is great. I started to share our live events on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm learning much every day.
that's
It's
awesome.
like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
And can you share again your YouTube channel name? I know it's the same, but a little
Uh,
different.
yeah, good question. I think it's Namadō.
Yeah,
Uh,
with
I
dashes,
will.
right? Instead of periods, I think it's dashes.
Oh, what a great memory you have! Amazing, Chris.
Sometimes it took me a little while to find it because I was trying with the dots, and then I was like, "Oh, it's dashes," and then because I uploaded our last interview and I included that in the video notes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's it would be much easier if I had the name. After this bundle is over, I'll have my website that they can go. You know, it's like a link tree
Yeah.
that everyone can go. And I got this Namado. This my even my website is nama.o OVH.
Okay. I
Nama.ovh.
I
It's the,
may ask you to message that to me, and then I'll put that in the notes. And then also, like you said, once you have the link tree and once it's live, they'll be able to access it directly through your profile here as well.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, thanks. I'm sorry for the confusion
No, no,
because then,
not at all, not at all. Well, thank you again so much, Kiko. I hope you have an awesome rest of your evening, and thanks again just for coming on, being a part of the bundle, and shining your light. You know, like you said, it spreads, and we never know who it's going to touch. So it's awesome what you're doing and sharing it out there and being a part of this growing family.
yeah, we need more of us like this. It's we need to spread. We do not have enough people. So
I
thank you so
absolutely
much.
agree. I absolutely agree. Well, thank you again, and thanks everyone who joined us live, and also I hope you enjoyed the replay if you find yourself here. And of course, go grab the bundle and have an amazing rest of your day too. Wishing you much
Bye now.
peace, love, and seasonal fruit. Bye bye. Oh.